What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D, and thanks to your continued support, my page is growing and it's growing fast. We hit 20,000 subscribers about 5 days ago, and we're already over 21,000 subscribers. So please keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting, and subscribing. I really do appreciate you guys. So, have you guys ever thought how sad it is that we live in a country where there is really no standard for elected officials? A country where, because you said the most bizarre, uneducated nonsense in a district whose constituents are uneducated and racist, you can be elected to Congress. Actual Congress, and you're the most embarrassing member whose only contribution is being a Jezebel. I'm sorry, but I gotta be real. We have members of Congress with multiple DUIs, sexual assault allegations, and all sorts of colorful pasts, and yet they're allowed to tweet nonsensical BS daily and do nothing for their constituents, but because they're an R and not a D, they keep getting voted in. Enter Lauren Boebert, a Republican so bad at her job she literally sits in committee meetings or stands on the House floor and misinterprets information that has been prepared for her by her staff members. I'm sure even her staffers, who are probably way smarter than her, ask themselves daily how they're working for her and not her working for them. She has often been exposed by experts for not understanding legislation or information that she's supposed to be educated on.
I'm asking about the EPA, and I'm asking about your rogue bureaucrats that have enacted these unconstitutional regulations. Are you going to repeal them? Are you going to continue to implement them, or are you going to stop altogether, since it's been overturned?
Do you understand the ruling?
Do you understand the ruling of the Supreme Court?
I do, and so your question is ill-formed. No.
Will you be repealing?
We're not going to stop.
So you're going to unconstitutionally continue with these
rulemakings. We're going to adhere to the Supreme Court and continue to do our.
So which rulemakings are you going to roll back?
We're going to adhere to the Supreme Court and continue to do our work in accordance to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court
So which ones are you going to repeal?
The Supreme Court didn't tell us to repeal anything.
They have been deemed unconstitutional.
No.
Absolutely they have. This was a huge victory.
Mr. Regan, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I would just like to clarify a few things for my colleague from Colorado. The Loper-Bright ruling, as you know, said that the courts should not defer to agency rulemaking if a statute is ambiguous, and instead the courts get to determine whether or not what the statute means. Is that your understanding as well?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that would not require any regulations to be reversed or overturned, correct?
Correct.
She literally had no idea what she had read, and the guy was sitting there feeling embarrassed for her. And this has happened multiple times to her. So imagine that person, Lauren Boebert, tweeting this about Vice President Kamala Harris. As someone who's worked at McDonald's, I can pretty much guarantee Kamala never worked there. We had no teleprompters, and she's unable to function without one of those. Not sure what she'd been able to do. Shut up, Lauren. Kamala Harris has a Juris Doctorate. You have a GED. This is not a joke. It took her 3 times to pass it. She's even tweeted about it. The same people who mock me for having a GED and blah, blah, blah. But wait, there's actually more. Lauren Boebert married a convicted child predator, gave a handy at a Beetlejuice show where kids were present, allowed her predator husband to beat her son and lie to the police about it. That son impregnated an underage girl and is now in legal trouble. Maybe Boebert should get off of Twitter and raise her damn children. The fact that she lacks the self-awareness to refrain from making statements about Kamala Harris's intelligence compared to hers tells you all you need to know about her lack of intelligence. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.